Hey everyone, welcome to Carrie's Garage, and on this episode we're going to continue to check out vehicles in my fleet. And here we have my 1971 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck. This by far out of all the vehicles I have is probably the biggest pile. It's really a pretty junky truck, but I needed a truck to take trash to the dump, use as a beater work truck, and this pretty much completely fit the bill at the time. Another point of it too was this truck was supposed to kind of be a placeholder until I found a body style like this as a GMC, which I now have. I have that 3/4 ton custom camper GMC, but overall I'm just gonna probably keep this truck, still use it as a beater work truck. If it gets any scratches or dents, I kind of really don't care since it's pretty much dented and scratched up as much as it could get. I actually don't even think there's a single straight panel on this truck. I got this truck probably about 3 years ago now. I think I paid like $500 or $600 for it. It was actually from an auction. A friend of mine got it from the auction. I bought it from him. Has a salvage title. Got in a wreck at some point. As you can tell, it's got the white fender, the white hood. So it originally was this kind of reddish orange color with the white top. It's a deluxe model, but it definitely shows some patina, that's for sure. And it does function, but I'll loosely use the word function. It starts, it quote unquote runs, it drives, but it has a lot of problems right now, which I've got a lot of the stuff to remedy it, which we're going to be doing here soon. This truck started life out as a 71, but it doesn't have a 71 grill. That was probably swapped when they did the fender and the hood. If you see over here, the fender on this side is just beaten. This one was dented right here, and actually somebody at my old house had sideswiped it, and I didn't notice for a couple of weeks until one day I was like, wow, that dent is actually bigger. It originally came, and I don't know if this is the original engine or not. I would be surprised if it was. But it's got a 307 V8 with a 2-barrel. This truck started life out as a 2-speed Powerglide automatic, but at some point, who knows when, it was converted to a 4-speed. So it's got an SM465 in it, and still has the automatic column right there. See if you can focus in on that. This engine it's tired. It's really worn out. I know the timing chain is really stretched. The compression really isn't all that great, so it has a lot of misses. I try to get the timing set and either it just jumps around. So I've got another engine in my garage that we'll take a look at here in a little bit, what I'm going to put into it. Nothing is going to be correct. It's an earlier engine. It's a smaller displacement Chevy V8. I really don't care. Like I said, this truck is really just meant to be kind of the beater workhorse of the fleet. Take it to the dump, go to the hardware store, throw stuff in it, and that's pretty much all I needed it for. But once I get the new engine, well, the old engine that I have that has way less miles and it's way cleaner, once I get this in this truck with the 4-barrel intake manifold, it'll run quite a bit better. We'll go ahead and start this one up in a minute. You can hear kind of how awful it is. And the exhaust on it, it's got dual pipes. Somebody put glass packs in, and they're all blown out. So it's actually kind of obnoxiously loud. Not in a good way. It's pretty bad. It's got plenty of rust. See the ground right there. Rust down there. I doubt I'll ever fix it. But, like I say, it does what I need it to do. Here's the interior. I know the seat was reupholstered at some point, and somebody put the seat cover on it, which never really stays in place all that well. It was ordered with the slightly higher deluxe gauge package, so it's got the battery, temperature. That one's blocked off. In the big trucks, that would have been an air pressure, but, this is only a half-ton. Oil pressure. It does not have the tack, which I really would like to get the tack. They make some really great kits. Parts for this truck are so plentiful, which is one of the great things I love about it compared to some of my weird European stuff where parts are about impossible to get. If you see on the door panels, it's got this nice scroll work with the simulated wood. It does not have the headliner, which is fine. Actually, this is probably the nicest part of the truck. It's right here on the interior. It's got the original GM AM radio. And you can see, because from what I understand, the automatic trucks, the engine actually sits farther forward, so the transmission, when they put the shifter in, should be back a little bit farther. But, it is as it is, and it, for the most part, works. There isn't much to see in the bed. I'm actually getting ready to do dump run right now, so I've got some junk in the back that I need to take to the dump. But the bed is very well worn. It's been used and used. Got the Chevrolet back here on the tailgate. It's got this really nice bumper, actually. This thing is welded onto the frame. It ain't going anywhere. I have moved a trailer a couple of times with this, and it does fairly well. One of the interesting things about this era of GM truck is it's got the coil spring rear suspension with these crazy control bars that go up towards the center of the truck. One issue I do have with this truck is the gearing. This thing is geared so incredibly high that you actually do have to start off in the granny gear. Third gear will wrap out to like 58, almost 60 before you get into fourth. So if I end up doing anything with the drivetrain, I'll probably re-gear the rear end, make it a little bit lower so it makes it a bit easier to drive. When I got it, it had no radiator. The water pump was new, no alternator, a couple of parts were missing. So kind of just sourced out some inexpensive stuff. I was on a big budget when I did this truck. So it's got a plastic radiator. These mounts actually don't quite fit correctly. They're supposed to be rubber mounts with the original metal radiator. But, you know, it's like I said before with this truck. It just kind of needed to do something. And it works-ish for the most part. See right here on the column, there's part of the original automatic shifter mechanism right there. No power brakes, but it does have a dual master with discs up front. And power steering, which this power steering pump has been dying for years, and I've got another one I need to put on it, but one of these days I'll probably end up doing it. And also, to keep within the fashion of this truck, the carburetor is so worn out. The throttle shaft bushings are just completely destroyed. So it has a huge vacuum leak on the carburetor, but I'm going to remedy all that when I get the other engine put in the truck, and I'll get this thing running way better. But let's go ahead and start it up. You can hear the kind of catastrophe of this small block. This just broke the other day, so I have to kind of jank it together. I just need to go get a new battery in for it. But, you know, like I say, it functioned as much as I needed it to at the time. Go ahead and put the hood down. Now, take it for a quick drive, and I'll show you the other engine, and that'll be it on this one. Oh, and here it captures some of the awful exhaust note. But of everything on the truck, the speedometer is dead on accurate. It works perfect. When it's a little cold, it kind of whines, but I need to take the cluster out. The temperature gauge is completely broken. I've got a replacement for that. And here we got the engine that's going to be going in the truck. This came out of, I think it was a 66 Chevy C10. It's just a 283 two-barrel. Nothing special or fancy about it, but it only has 65, 66-ish thousand miles on it from what I remember. So it's just a really good, clean, solid engine that doesn't have any really bad wear in it. It's a little dirty. I need to clean it off. It's been sitting here for a bit. And I know it's all exposed, you know, some dust, but I want to thoroughly clean it out before I put together. I started wire brushing off the block. I'm going to end up painting the engine heads, intake, everything, the Oldsmobile Rocket gold color. I really don't care about originality with the truck. You know, it's kind of a turd. I just like that color, and you know, Chevy orange is on everything, so I think the gold would look kind of cool. One of the things I do need to find here soon is an intake manifold for a 4-barrel with the integrated oil fill. I'm doing that for a very specific reason. You have to have the integrated filler on the intake manifold so I can continue to run these really cool old Chevy stamped valve covers. It's a really cool look that I'd like to maintain, and I'm gonna try and do that. I've got a 650 CFM carb I'm gonna throw on this thing when it's all together. All I really need to get for this engine is a new timing chain set, some seals, gaskets, and clean up really good. And I'll do a full film on that one when I start putting the engine back together, and then we'll do the engine swap on the truck and see if we can make the darn thing run better. And I know a 283 isn't correct for a 71, but I don't really care. I just want an engine that runs fairly well. And I really don't want to put any money into the 307. It's just a tired, worn out old engine, and a friend of mine actually wants to get their hands on it, so just gonna go ahead and pull it out, get it to him, and then put this engine in there and make it a bit more of a functioning truck. Well, that'll about do it for the video on my old 71 Chevy truck. Not really a long video. There's really not a huge amount to show on the truck, but just want to show you some more of the fleet. I think we're about maybe 3/4 of the way on the fleet videos, kind of doing the introduction and showing around them. Got the old International, the 63 Dodge, the VW bus to really actually look around at, maybe the 2000 BMW, Traction, my Citroen Traction Avant, the Corvair, and I pretty much think, unless anybody wants to see the 04 Bug, it's kind of a disaster. I need to figure out what to do with that thing. But, you know, we've been kind of trekking along. I've got a lot of cars, so I was able to make kind of a lot of videos each weekend, do a fleet review of one of my vehicles. I'm in the process. I'm going to get a slightly better camera and a microphone, and then we're going to start doing some road drive reviews where I put a suction cup mount on the window. We talk about the vehicles and take it for a drive. So that's going to be coming up here soon as well. But thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you like what you see. I think I've got like 28 or 30 some videos, so go back and check those, see some of the cars. I did a whole yard walk around. We'll do a fleet update at some point. I got rid of a couple of vehicles, acquired a vehicle or two. I don't know. Probably getting another one here soon. But that's all here for the future. And thanks so much. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.